After years of secrecy and billions of dollars in doubt, the United States is finally set to unveil its sixth-generation fighter, the F-47 NGAD. Sleek, stealthy, and built to command a fleet of robotic wingmen, this jet is meant to change how wars are fought from the sky. Critics asked whether a lone, expensive plane could beat missiles, drones, and cyber threats. Supporters say it's the node that ties sensors and weapons together. Now, with new Chinese prototypes rising on the horizon, that debate became urgent. This video unpacks what the F-47 really is and why the world is watching closely.
The threat from the East. If you've been watching military news the last few years, one thing becomes clear. China isn't standing still. It moved from copying old ideas to building its own modern air force fast. The Chengdu J-20 showed the world China could field a true stealth fighter. The Shenyang J-31 has been talked about as an export-capable stealth type. Those jets alone changed the conversation about regional air power. Then, in late December 2024, something new appeared in blurry images and short video clips online. Two tailless, stealthy-looking aircraft flying over Chengdu. The photos were fuzzy, the details sketchy, but the shape was striking. No vertical tails, wide wings, and a look that didn't fit China's older designs. Analysts and hobbyists lit up social media, trying to parse what they were seeing. Experts cautioned that images can mislead, but the sightings were enough to make the West pay attention. Out of that chatter came a name that stuck in analyst write-ups and forum threads, the J-36. Nobody from Beijing confirmed it, but several outlets have tried to gather what little open-source evidence exists and lay out a likely picture. The rumor picture of the J-36 is bold, a large tailless delta diamond wing, wide fuselage, and according to some readings, a triple-engine layout. The design choices point at two things: stealth and long reach. A tailless shape reduces radar reflections, large internal bays suggest big missile or fuel loads, and multiple engines hint at high speed or heavy payloads. These are the traits you'd expect if someone wanted a long-range air superiority or strike machine. People have also been poring over the little details. Some reports note prominent leading-edge extensions blending into the nose and lots of small control surfaces along the trailing edge. Design moves that can help a tailless aircraft stay agile even without vertical fins. Other notes point to huge nose volume that could hold a very large radar or other sensors. Bottom line, if the J-36, or whatever it's called, matches even part of the speculation, it would be a serious step up from earlier Chinese types. China isn't just building big manned jets, it's also building loyal wingmen, unmanned fighters meant to fly alongside crewed jets and do the dirty, dangerous work. Think of them as cheaper, expendable partners that extend reach, carry extra weapons, scout ahead, or jam enemy radars. That idea mirrors what the US is doing with the Next Generation Air Dominance, NGA, and its Collaborative Combat Aircraft, CCAS, manned leaders backed by robotic teammates. In short, both sides are betting not on a lone hero plane, but on a team of platforms that work together. All of this fueled real fear among US analysts. The worry wasn't just they built a neat plane, it was that China could combine new fighters, loyal wingmen, long-range missiles, and heavier air defenses into a package that limits US freedom of action in the Pacific.
Talk about NGAD and money, and the numbers hit like a gut punch. The Air Force's budget plans and public filings point to roughly $20 billion in research and development spending for NGAD through the end of the decade. That's the kind of money that can fund whole programs, not just prototypes. Then there's the per-plane math that made everyone wince. Independent estimates and government analysts have suggested an NGAD airframe could run roughly $300 million each. Put bluntly, that's about 3 times the price of a new F-35, and in the same ballpark is some very expensive legacy jets when all costs are counted. It's the sort of price tag that forces hard choices: buy fewer high-end planes or more lower-cost ones. To make the trade-offs clearer, compare a few headline numbers. The F-35A now runs on average in the tens of millions a plane to buy, while the B-21 Raider bomber's target per aircraft procurement cost sits in the hundreds of millions, roughly $700 million per bomber in recent estimates. Those comparisons aren't meant to gaslight anyone. They're the real-world context that makes NGAD's sticker shock meaningful. That sticker shock sparked a long, loud debate inside the Pentagon and on Capitol Hill. The question was simple and brutal. Should the US sink tens of billions into a single, ultra-expensive fighter when the character of war is changing so fast? Drones are cheaper, can be produced in large numbers, and can swarm. Long-range missiles and stealthy bombers can strike from far away without risking pilots. Cyber operations and space assets reshape battlefields in ways a single jet might not fix. Critics asked whether NGAD was a future-proof investment or an expensive bet on yesterday's idea of air power. The discussion got real in 2024. Leadership paused NGAD for a deep look after cost estimates climbed and the program appeared at risk of becoming unaffordable at scale. That pause was not a routine paperwork shuffle. It was a full stop to ask whether the program still made sense given budget realities and shifting military tech. The pause created serious tension. Cancel it and risk falling behind, press on and risk bleeding the budget dry for a smaller force. That tension fed headlines and political heat. Contractors warned about sunk costs and complex supply chains. Lawmakers demanded answers. Analysts ran war games and cost models. Some argued for buying more existing aircraft or investing heavily in cheaper unmanned systems. Others pushed back. A sixth-generation leader could reshape the fight and protect allies in high-end wars where cheaper toys might not survive. Bottom line, NGAD's price tag turned the program into a choice about strategy, not just procurement. This wasn't a debate about which jet looks cooler. It was a debate about how the US wants to spend its defense dollars and what kind of air force it intends to bring to the fights of the 20s. The risk of cancellation wasn't just chatter, it was a real fork in the road.
Many details of the F-47's design remain classified, but in March 2025, General Alvin offered a rare peek at what the jet might become. He promised significantly longer range, more advanced stealth, more sustainable, more supportable, and higher availability than our fifth-generation fighters, naming the F-22 and F-35 as the yardsticks. With the F-47, the U.S. is not just building another fighter, but shaping the future of warfare and putting our enemies on notice. General Alvin said the tone was unmistakable. This is meant to be a generational leap, not an incremental update. That sort of rhetoric does two jobs. First, it sells a vision to lawmakers, industrial partners, and the public, the kind of language that helps secure funding and political backing. Second, it signals intent to potential rivals who will read every phrase and study every released image for hidden meaning. Analysts and journalists will parse quotes and photos for technical breadcrumbs, while the defense community debates what trade-offs designers are making behind closed doors. One of those trade-offs can be inferred from the photos circulating. The aircraft appears to feature a canard configuration. What is a canard configuration? In plain terms, canards are small wing-like control surfaces placed forward of the main wing. They act like tiny wings up front that help manage pitch and improve handling. Canards can increase maneuverability at high angles of attack, boost pitch authority, and enhance low-speed control for shorter takeoffs or carrier operations. Pilots often report that canard-equipped airplanes feel more responsive and nimble during tight maneuvers. But canards are a design trade-off. Any additional surface creates edges and intersections that can reflect radar and complicate efforts to minimize radar cross-section. Their presence would suggest designers are balancing stealth against agility, survivability, and mission flexibility. Modern engineering offers ways to blunt those stealth penalties. Careful shaping, advanced radar-absorbing materials, internal weapons bays, or even deployable surfaces that extend only when mission conditions demand them. In other words, designers can chase both stealth and handling, but rarely without compromise. Right now, we have glimpses rather than a full spec sheet. Whether canards survive into production models, how sensors and weapons are arranged, and which propulsion systems are chosen remain open questions. What is already clear is how the F-47 is being framed as a major step forward. Expect intense scrutiny from engineers, pilots, and planners as new details appear, and watch how doctrine and procurement adapt. The F-47 could reshape tactics, basing, and mission planning for decades around the world.